In Episode 7 of Masters of the Air, the 100th Bomb Group receives a new leader, Lieutenant Colonel John Bennett, who, in real life, brings changes to the unlucky Air Force's squadron that helps them for the remainder of the war. For context, Episode 7 sees a time jump from October 1943 to March 1944. After months of immense casualties and losses, the 100th is almost entirely made up of replacement soldiers. Plus, with invasion imminent, the 100th's targets are getting even more dangerous. However, with a new leader in place, things are going to start looking up. A hint at Bennett's good reputation comes soon after his introduction in Masters of the Air Episode 7. When he is presenting the 100th's upcoming mission to Berlin, Bennett reveals that he is not only sending the men on their mission, but will also be joining them on it. This behavior is much different from past leaders like Colonel Neil "Chick" Harding, who simply gave a mission and remained safe at base. Furthermore, Bennett brings a much more compassionate air than Harding, who had a more arrogant and uncaring ambience to him. Lieutenant Colonel John Bennett transformed the 100th Bomb Group. Lieutenant Colonel John Bennett arrived at Thorpe Abbotts in November 1943. Over the course of the following months, he took command of the 349th Squadron, was promoted to lieutenant colonel, became the 100th's air executive, and then, when Colonel Neil Harding got gallstones, Bennett became the commander of the 100th Bomb Group. Notably, his first day of command occurred during Big Week, when thousands of airmen were lost in flights over Berlin. According to the 100th Bomb Group Foundation, in the weeks that Lieutenant Colonel Bennett commanded the 100th, Major Harry Crosby credited Bennett with improving the 100th's strategy. Crosby said, "The group flew better formations, we flew, and flew. More of us survived and got to go home. For that, I give a great deal of credit to Lieutenant Colonel John Bennett." By making many necessary changes to the leadership of the 100th, the squadron was able to improve in a way that exceeded their poor performance throughout the spring and summer of 1943. What happens to Lieutenant Colonel John Bennett in Masters of the Air? Carl Bennett and Robert Rosenthal. Masters of the Air. Masters of the Air Episode 7 sees the first days of Lieutenant Colonel Bennett taking control of the 100th. That first bout of temporary command lasted until April 19, 1944, but Bennett went on to take temporary command of the 100th two more times, from April to May 1944 and June to July 1944. At the end of July, Bennett moved to Elveden Hall, headquarters, 3rd Air Division as Director of Operational Analysis and Training. There, he planned missions and prepared tactical analysis. Bennett will survive Masters of the Air and receive many medals for his service.